Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer Cunningham. I'm the AVP of Alumni Relations at Lehigh University, and I'm very happy to bring you today Doing Democracy with the Lehigh University Art Galleries. A little bit of choreography before I introduce our speakers. We are here for 30 minutes, and about 10 minutes of that time will be the LUAG speakers giving us an overview of Doing Democracy, and then we will open it up for your questions. To ask your questions, go to the chat box, which is at the bottom of your screen, and just click that. You can either chat with all attendees or with the panelists. Either way, I will read your question to our speakers and they will respond that way. We are recording today, so if for any reason you have to drop off early or you want to review the presentation later or share it with your friends, you will get a link to it in a few days. So today we have William Crow, who is the director of LUAG. I think he's been with us about a year.
Two now.
We have the curator of education, Stacie Brennan, and we have the curator of exhibition and collections, Mark Wonsidler. So I will kick it off to William to get us started.
Great. Thanks so much, Jennifer. And it's a pleasure to have all of you here today. Thank you for carving out some time to be with us. As Jennifer mentioned, I am the director of the Lehigh University Art Galleries and professor of practice in the Department of Art, Architecture, and Design. If you're not very familiar with the art galleries, or LUAG for short, we are approaching 17,000 works of art of diverse media and from different time periods and cultures. We span 7 gallery spaces across 3 campuses. We have over 50 outdoor sculptures and all kinds of events and programs that are happening even during this time of remote interaction. We're coming up on our 100-year anniversary. First formal exhibitions at LUAG were in 1926. So we hope that you'll come see us. You actually can make an appointment for a free personalized visit at the art galleries. So we hope that you'll do that. And maybe today's talk will inspire you to do that. So in just a moment, I'm going to turn things over to Mark Wonsidler, our curator of exhibitions and collections, who's going to talk with you about an exhibition that we have on view right now called Doing Democracy, photographs from the George Stephanopoulos Collection. And I think as you'll hear, we're going to hear how this exhibition, but also how museums overall really work best when people participate, which is very much like a democracy. And so I hope you enjoy learning about our approach to this exhibition and programs, and we hope that we'll see you soon. So with that, I'm going to turn things over to Mark.
Thanks, Will. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone can hear me and see a beautiful screen that says Doing Democracy. This is going to be a quick overview of a quite extensive exhibition. So we really hope that you will find an opportunity this semester or next to make an appointment and come to the gallery and check out the exhibition in person if possible. As Will was saying, this exhibition really is the product of many voices, not unlike democracy, and and we want to sort of celebrate and thank all of those participants who took part in the planning of this exhibition. In particular, our students who were gathered from an extraordinary number of majors. We partnered with faculty across the departments of history, journalism and communication, political science, art, architecture and design, and I believe others. And we gathered students whose majors ranged among history, marketing, political science, ideas, mechanical engineering, business, management consulting, finance, graphic design, art history, architecture, sociology, English, history, computer science, and justice and systemic change. So that'll be the end of our presentation. It was only enough time to read the majors. The students joined us in a class that met on Fridays in spring before we all went online due to the pandemic, and they met to entertain a particular question, right? Which is, how can we do an exhibition for the fall, present fall? We knew that we were going to want to focus on the fact of the presidential election, and we had this idea to delve into our extensive permanent collection, which, as Will mentioned, is nearing 17,000 works of art, into a particular collection that's been donated to us over the course of many years by a person you may have heard of, George Stephanopoulos. George and his wife, Alexandra, have donated since around 2004. They have donated, well over 2,000 photographs to the LUAG collection here at Lehigh, and we're so thankful to them. And among those donated photographs are any number of works dealing with topics concerning democracy, right? Elections, conventions, protests, voting, civil rights, and the actions of everyday Americans unfolding in all kinds of unexpected ways. So that became the core of the materials that the students looked at this semester, this past semester. And we started with 2,000 photographs before the class started. Our curatorial team brought it down to about 500. And then working with the students, the current show is about like 110 photographs or so. So it was really an epic process of editing. And as you can see, this is a mock-up of one of the exhibition walls. And so, the question is, what were these students, what were they doing? So they explored the photographs. They thought about the very lively visual juxtapositions that can arise from putting one or two or more photographs together, showing some examples as we go through. The power of putting one photograph next to another and the way that it speaks, the way that they speak together. They thought about that. They engaged in the incredible art form of exhibition label writing, which I think is rivaled only, by the haiku poem form, in which so much needs to be said in so few words. And they worked toward writing exhibition labels for us. So when you visit the exhibition, you'll see on the labels any number of different voices being broadcast to the exhibition label. And you can see much of this on our website as well as we continue to upload information to the website. You'll see the voices of the photographers, you'll see the voices of students. You'll hear additional information, some historical information. So I thought I would share with you one super excellent exhibition label haiku from one of our students, Maren Bernhardt, who graduated in the class of 20, a marketing major. And it's about this photograph that we're looking at right now, which is a photograph by Danny Lyon from 1962. And this is her caption. In this photograph, the signs do all the talking. Despite urgent recruitment posters inviting everyone, both men and women, to enlist during the Vietnam War, in the background, a sign points toward a white waiting room, revealing a world fully immersed in segregation, even during a time of war. So that was a particularly succinct example, and there are many more throughout the exhibition. In addition to these fantastically written labels, our students they interviewed each other, they explored the photographs to dialogue with one another, they recorded audio content, and our incredible museum intern, Ray Ukon, constructed these extraordinary video content nuggets we were talking about earlier to accompany the exhibition. And as you travel through the exhibition, either in person or on our website, there are about 20 of these amazing videos that, that highlight different photographs and student research about the collection. So I'm just going to play one of them for you really quickly, and you'll get a sense of the work that our students have been doing.
In the southern United States, Jim Crow laws enforced racial segregation until the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1965. Taken by Danny Lyon, this scene took place 3 years prior in Nashville, Tennessee, in front of a restaurant called the TikTok Hamburger Place. Lyon captured Lester McKinney, Bernice Regan, and John O'Neill in what at first seems to be 3 people standing to get inside. Throughout the South, sit-ins and boycotts took place in public establishments such as this restaurant. It is evident that this is in fact a snapshot of a demonstration against segregation. A white waitress is peering at them through the window glass, while other white customers surround the 3. Bernice Regan was a founding member of the Freedom Singers, a student quartet group that toured the US during the Civil Rights Movement. The group was known to use communal songs as a form of empowerment and education to those involved in the movement against Jim Crow segregation. She then founded the all-women African-American a cappella ensemble, Sweet Honey in the Rock, and she continues to work towards social justice through community singing and scholarship. After graduating college, John O'Neill founded the Free Southern Theater with 2 other artists. The group provided free shows primarily in predominantly Black towns with little access to theater. O'Neill hoped to bring the power of theater to Black Americans and encourage them to articulate their own stories, and continued to bring performance arts to many audiences throughout his life. And finally, Lester McKinney joined the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee and became a prominent figure in the demonstrations against segregation in Nashville. He was later a project director for the Mississippi Freedom Summer Project, a volunteer campaign during June 1964 to register as many Black American voters as possible. One cannot help but recall similar scenes of protest and civil disobedience happening today, yesterday, and the day before. For access to opportunity, but more urgently, for the right to take up space, to exist, to live. Relentless, interconnected battles fought in our past, continuing in our present.
Okay, our time is rocketing by. So I think what I would like to do is maybe scroll through a number of other photographs. You can see a few of them close up, but maybe while I'm doing that, Stacie, did you want to maybe jump in and talk a little bit about some programs that are coming up? I don't want to steal your time.
I'd be happy to. I am sitting here in the galleries with Capitol Hill behind me with one of the photographs in the exhibition and an opportunity for you to come visit the gallery. We hope that you'll make an appointment. We also have all of the images from the exhibition available to you online, as well as a number of the resources that Mark mentioned today, wonderful videos that our students put together and the labels that they wrote, as well as written descriptions from faculty who participated in the curation of this show. We also have a ton of great opportunities for you to participate in civic dialogue through hands-on programs and workshops coming up, as well as lecture presentations from faculty and students at the university. So we hope you'll visit our website under the events section and sign up for those events. And make an appointment to come see us. And last, I did want to mention that we have 20 reproductions of photographs from this exhibition on view on the South Bethlehem Greenway. So we hope you'll take a stroll through the Greenway, view those photographs, and participate in conversations with the community. So thank you very much for joining us today.
All right, thank you. We have some questions coming in. Again, if you would like to ask a question, go to the chat and put them in there, and I will read them aloud. So just to let people know, yes, we will be sending out the slides so you can see them in their entirety. Questions about George Stephanopoulos. One, how did he come to get these photographs? And two, why Lehigh?
I'm happy to start, and Mark, maybe you can chime in.
Sure.
He is not an alumnus of Lehigh. He's an alum of Columbia in Manhattan, but he's collected photographs for years. And I think, like many people, he looked to academic museums, academic art museums, as a potential place to hold his collections. Because academic museums are great places for teaching and research and, of course, enjoyment by the broader community. So this is a relationship that Lehigh started, I believe, back in 2004.
Yes, about 2004.
We're not the only location that he has donated to, but we were very fortunate to have these now over 2,000 photographs that we can draw upon, particularly in this moment with this very timely and relevant topic.
Great. And do you know how he came to get the photographs? Just art collecting?
He works with several collectors. He works with an art advisor, actually, who we work with very closely, who really keeps his eyes on the full landscape of photographs and when they become available from private collections. And so I think he recruits the help from that art advisor as well.
Okay, great. I see a question that somebody thought he went to Lehigh because his name is on one of the benches by admissions. And that's actually because he gave over $1 million of photographs. So he is there. Etched in one of the benches, yes. Mm-hmm. All right, next question. Teresa is asking, do you do Zoom workshops or class visits via Zoom? My students are working on photo essays and this is amazing.
Oh, fabulous.
I'll take that one. Yes, we do. We are working on adding additional resources to our website. We've given a number of Zoom tours and workshops over the last 2 weeks, and we'll continue doing that through May of this year. So I will put my email address in the chat box, and I'd love to connect with you to talk about opportunities to bring your students to the exhibition through Zoom.
Nice. All right, well, we're waiting for some more. Oh, here we go. A question from Robert. Does the exhibit include any photos from the current day contrasting today's racism versus the 60s?
Oh, wow. Well, that's a great question. The photographs end, I think, around 1985. But the issue, and one of the things that we have experienced so vividly in putting the exhibition together, and one of the things that the students remarked upon constantly, was the way that these photographs seem as if they were being taken today or, you know, in the past few weeks. There are themes that include, you know, rioting and looting in cities, ongoing struggles for racial justice, every, you know, kind of every version of what we have, you know, been thinking about so acutely in the last few months is reflected in this show. So although the photographs don't cross over, you know, in their chronology into the present, they reflect it in an incredible way. So that's one of the, I think, one of the great powers of this exhibition.
Nice. All right. While we're waiting for some more questions, has George ever come to Lehigh to check out how his photographs are being utilized?
You know, we're in conversation at the moment, trying to get him on campus. He, you know, since he's one of those public figures, you know, he's got such a busy schedule this fall with the upcoming election, but our hope is that he can come see the exhibition and also get to know Lehigh a little bit better too, particularly because of the students that did this great work on the exhibition. So hopefully that will be in the coming year.
Great. I also wondered about if you could talk a little bit more about how the exhibition affects students, and maybe tell us something that has surprised you coming out of conversations with students.
Well, they certainly have been thinking. You know, it was a wonderful experience to have this time with them while they were kind of processing the photographs and writing about them, and seeing the lights come on in all kinds of different ways. You know, they became aware of different kind of corners and events of history that, you know, it was very clear in conversation with them that they didn't know about before. So it was great to see that open up. And I think that's true also for us, you know, as the curators and organizers of the exhibition. The farther that we go into these photographs, the more we learn about our own past and present. And certainly a great way to see the show is to go through it with your, you know, smart device fired up and just start Googling everybody that you encounter in these photos, because, you know, we've been able to kind of tell a story through the arrangement and the information in the exhibition, but there's so much more. So I don't know, let's see, I'm trying to think of a particularly good student anecdote. Do either of you have one that comes to mind?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I think I would just echo what you were saying, Mark, in that, you know, we hope that through this process of co-curating this exhibition that, you know, the students really think about how do we make meaning about the world, you know, how not only how do these singular photographs make meaning, but by bringing them together and hopefully by bringing different people together who have different perspectives, you know, it really shapes the way that we think about the world and about ourselves. So, so hopefully that is a learning that is taken away by everyone who participates and sees this show.
I think it also built awareness for all of them as to the importance of participating in democracy and how they, as young voters, could have an impact on this upcoming election. So I think that was a really powerful conversation that we had, numerous conversations in class, especially visited by professors in Lehigh who had those conversations about the history of democracy and where it's going. So it's exciting to see them getting excited about voting.
Yeah,
it's very present for them. I mean, a number of them said, you know, I hadn't thought about this very much, but all of a sudden now it's very real for me, and they're taking it very seriously.
that must just be amazing for you all to see that, like the impact of that on the students, that, you know, not everybody makes the connection from art to light bulbs like that. So that must be really neat. Rob is asking about any work from Peter Souza prior to his time with Obama.
Oh, no. You know, unfortunately, those photographs are not part of our collection. But I think some folks had an opportunity to see a number of them on campus in the past year before we were not so much on campus, as they were highlighted at the library, I believe.
Yeah, because he came and spoke, right? That was about a year or two ago. Pete Souza.
Last spring, I believe, or last February.
February, I believe.
Yeah.
Or it might have been 100 years ago, you know.
What is it?
Exactly.
Yep. You also mentioned that people on the call could call you for a free personalized visit. Did you mean in person? You're actually taking people around?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can provide opportunities for you to have the entire gallery to yourself, as well as tours throughout our other gallery spaces.
Nice. And I think people have to do like a little test. We have a Hawk Watch app and all of that. So if people are interested in that, there are some protocols that we have to go through, but we can certainly make that happen.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime experience to have a whole museum to yourself. So
right,
take advantage of it.
Right. It's like being a millionaire for a day, where you have these.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if people can't come in person to see it, the Greenway is a great way to explore these photographs outdoors. So another wonderful way to participate.
Right, and the
Yeah.
Greenway is the space, it's a little path right off of New Street, I believe it starts.
Yep, between 3rd and 4th Streets.
Exactly.
Yeah, and as you view those photographs, there are codes on the sort of billboards that you can activate with your phone and watch those 20 terrific videos that our students produced.
Yeah.
Mark, Stacie, or William, do you have a favorite photograph in this collection? And is it here in the PowerPoint that you want to take us back to?
I have to walk around.
I know.
Oh gosh, let me. I'll let's see here. I'll buzz back to our. Well, okay, so this bears mention, right? Fidel Castro sledding on a carpet in the snow in Moscow. I mean, just for sheer oddity, that's a hard one to pass up. I don't know if the rest of you have any others you want me to try to find. I was just going to zoom to. This is a great one too.
Yeah, that's a really powerful piece.
Young girl in Gee's Bend, which is a community that later became incredibly well known for the abstract tradition of quilt makers who lived there. But this is an early photograph by Arthur Rothstein, reflecting the incredible poverty of that community, and juxtaposed with this. This advertising for kind of idealized American home living. Quite powerful. There's great things about the media, leadership, political leaders, a little Watergate moment there. Angela Davis, Svetlana Stalin defecting. I was just going to find our friends, the Coquettes.
Oh, sure.
Can everyone see the Coquettes? So one of the great pleasures of this exhibition has been us all learning about the Coquettes, who were a kind of queer performance troupe from San Francisco, who took the world by storm in the 70s. So they are a wonderful feature of this exhibition.
I would add too, I think what's really powerful about this exhibition is that it's not, each individual photograph tells a story, but then as a group in these clusters, with the way that the team curated the show with students and faculty, brings about these themes that really resonate now and have a powerful impact on kind of how we make meaning from them, because, told together as a story, it's really powerful.
How do you all interact with other faculty members? Because it seems like obviously this is very relevant to so many classes. How does that work?
Yeah, well, one way, and what we were so eager to engage other faculty members and their students across different disciplines, really to shape the exhibition. So Mark was mentioning we worked with journalism and communication, history, political science, art, architecture, and design, and other departments last spring, really to tap their expertise and to get their viewpoints, but then also so that they could take advantage of the exhibition while it's on view. So we're looking forward to having those classes and those departments use this exhibition during this academic year, the online programs and resources, and then of course on site. But we agree, like the more you look at these photographs, the more you see, and there's connections really across every discipline. And I think that's the great power too of an academic art museum, a campus-based art museum, is that there's truly something for everyone, and that it's a place that really bridges different people, different interests, different ideas.
Right, neat. Well, gosh, that time went quickly. It's 1 o'clock already. We could probably make a 2-day conference out of this one exhibition. So we really appreciate your time. As I mentioned, we will send out this recording and the slide deck and other information, the links, so that you can browse some of these things on your own. If you're in the Bethlehem area, it's great to walk on the what's it called? The Greenway there. So thank you everybody for participating. Thank you, William, Mark, and Stacie.
Thank you.
A pleasure.
Yes, have a good rest of your day, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us.